Fair play to Christy May and Cochrane. They had lovely hot toddies there. I'm a pioneer, but they looked great. And that day, and whatever you call them, I'm not very well up in drink, but they looked very nice, appetising anyhow. And that made a big impression. But I remember that lady across the road, and I hope she does a great business in her cakes and for birthdays.
Was it Deborah's Cakes?
Deborah's Cakes. That's good, man.
Go away.
She was absolutely. She played a big. When she came out,
she's South African.
Well, there you go. She played a role.
Yeah.
Because when we went up to fight the thing at the next meeting, somebody says, "You've even presented a cake with a banjo on it. Should we eat? How could we forget to vote for you? We eat it."
Yeah,
And so there's that lady.
But as well as that, I think the most important thing as well is we've so many cultures in our town at this stage. This is, as well as that, we need to go back to our future.
Yes.
And we need to learn and show all the people as well who probably live in the town wondering, my God, is this Irish culture? This is the way Irish culture works. And as well as that, it brings the people of Mullingar together on a most important 70 years, is that right?
Yes, 70 years, 1951. There's gone out there in April, March, April 50. Well, it's going to be 71 next year, and we will certainly have a massive big birthday party. But you're right. I think it was one school. Was educated together about 35 or 40 different nationalities in it. And I spoke to the principal there, and gee, what a wonderful achievement to integrate everybody. We're all their part and get them to absorb, and they could. A lot of those young children I remember in their school speaking Irish better than we. You'd be almost ashamed you're lost. And those who speak in Irish, then integrate into the Irish music and everything else. And look at, we have, as I said, Vietnamese young people playing music and not so young, and I see in our own branch, look, people in their 70s taking up the banjo or the mandolin or taking up the accordion. There's nothing that can't be done if you put your mind out it. And we Irish are the people to do it.
One question for you before we wrap it up: why are you so passionate about Irish music? Do you play something yourself? Where does it come from, Willie?
Well, I don't know. I mean, so there was a connection with there's Penrose is there. I'm married. My great granduncle was married to a Keenan.
Right.
And the Keenans were great pipers. And Joe Penrose, my cousin, and that, and Liam Penrose, and them. Henny Penrose. Henny used to play the bowron.
That's right.
And Henny would be related to them. Henny was a son of that woman.
Right.
And there's a big connection there. And I remember the Furies was down. Poor Trudy Penrose died. A very young girl, lovely girl, died in her early 30s. And Eddie Fury and Finbar, they were down at the funeral. And they have people, I think, buried up in Kilmacnevin there, Ballincarriga, and they go there. So I don't know. It took off from that, but I always had this thing. We have I want to see one thing about Ballincarriga. I'd love to see, there was a Tristan Kelly band, Mick Begg and Joe Boyce, Gary's, all them, and Dinah Gary's father, late Mick Gary, they played a big role. The biggest, the Enoch in Tristan was the biggest event outside of anywhere.
Right.
In Enoch, Tristan was a big, Tristan Abbey over there. It was a huge big, it was the historical centre of Ireland. And there was a huge committee over there. Willie Rouse or Leo Rowsome and all them, they all come there. And we have all the history of that. Dinah Gary, very thankful to her for finding all that history. And Damien Maher, the topic, put it all together. Damien there, and I wish Damien and especially Claire every success. She's under a bit of tough times with health now, and a lovely, great support of ours. And I wish her a speedy recovery. And God, she's a great fighter, and we're with her every step of the way. But Damien did a great job in that. We have so many people. But Ballincarriga was a place that I loved. I wish I could play something. Now, my daughters are good musicians. But I started playing tin whistle, and I remember this little girl one day, Anne says to her, "How is Willie getting on?" Well, she says he's pure useless. And it was you can't beat a child for telling the truth. And I was there, like somebody says.
And when did you take up
I took up the tin whistle with Enda Syria, and I think I'm the only pupil that ever failed Enda. So it's not a very good, and I was like a rat. Did you ever hear a rat scraping at a bass? And I was like that. I couldn't get those big fingers on it. That's why.
But your passion comes from all this history around Ballincarriga.
All this history of Ballincarriga.
Yeah.
And it was great people out there. But this Enoch was the great thing. And that, Leo Rowsome then used to fly in. There was actually a plane dropped into the field out there. And the only time it was off was during the war. So it was in the 30s and into the 40s and that. And there's some great people out there, late Joe Boyce, great fiddle player. And so I saw this, the Piper Dolan for down in League, and there was all great people, Ardandra, they were all great people, musicians. And Willie Reynolds come to our place in the 60s, and Lord have mercy, my mother, then we didn't have any money. Because Lord, Willie Reynolds was sure doing it for nothing. Yeah. And we still, if you did it for minus nothing, we still didn't have any money, we're poor. And so like everybody else, every other family at the time. So we didn't take the opportunity that was there. But I always thought that if we got a chance, and in 2012 we re-established Coltis of Ballycarrig, because there's always been a Coltis lineage of Ballycarrig, and we done up the old courthouse. Mm-hmm. And funny enough, we took down that courthouse. All the timber work was done in it by the late Larry Cunningham, on your own.
Go away.
And Larry used to cycle from Granard to do that work in the 50s. So we took that out in 2013, and with the help of the Westmeath County Council again playing a positive role, we have a very fine shop cure with your own niece and everybody attended, and that, and we have a very strong branch there. Great music, great, absolutely wonderful shooters, led by Joe and Anya Rahely, and she comes from the famous Rahely family who won 4 All-Irelands in Meath. She's married locally there at McGowan's, Anya McGowan, and Jackie O'Mara, we have Enda Siri, Joe Kinnear, we have a host, I'll probably forget somebody now in the middle, and Neve, my mother, was doing the set dancing, and we have a huge amount of set dancers, and they kept doing it during the Zoom.
Brilliant.
This Zoom drives me mad, I hate it. I'm technologically stupid and illiterate, and I don't want to be, because as far as I see technology is going to get rid of jobs, and I'm pro jobs, and I don't believe in it. But anyway, but that's me. But I'm a dinosaur. I'm dead with the ducks, as I say. But still, I see her teaching with the Zoom. I see Jackie and Mary, see them all, Joe. They're all able to do this thing with Zoom, and so they're still keeping it up now. There's nothing better than face-to-face doing an interview here.
Exactly.
You could do this and even...
There's no connection.
There's no connection, and you're able to connect, and you're able to stop me and interrupt and get the right question. But I think that's how it works. And every branch is across the same. We have branches from North West Meath, Clonrail, right across the area, back to Moat, and back into Ballymore, and back into Milltown and Ballycarrig, back Mullingar branch here, of course, Noel Battle and Monica and all those people doing great work here, and Siobhan Connor and all those, they're great musicians, all teaching, and next John Burns, an excellent musician par excellence, Paul Taff. Where would you get them? You travel the world, you wouldn't get it. Look at them.